Hey guys, Elite Legionarii here, bringing you a 2 versus 2 for Rome Total War. I'll be joining Doc Holliday again. He'll be Armenia, I'll be the Greek city, and our opponents are directly opposite me is Oki P4 Opterus. He is Macedon and his ally is also Macedon. His name is Brutal. So my thinking this time round was to just go with a core of 5 strong Spartans as the main line, and then I would just have 5 armoured hoplites in the flank there, no upgrades, but their only purpose is to keep cavalry out and maybe add support to the fight if the Spartans just get outnumbered, but of course the Spartans are really well upgraded, so they'll be alright. Anyway, before I can explain the rest, I better catch some of this action. Now I sent two of these units of militia cav I have around just to draw out some of his cav, because I saw all these Cretians out here and I'm going to use my 2 light Greek cav here to go after them, but I'm probably in all honesty actually putting too much on my Greek cav, because Cretians with at least these guys have got at least 3 upgrades, so they can probably actually do an okay job of fending off these light Greek cav. But even if I just run down like a handful of it, each group there, I'm going to do plenty of damage. And I thought I'd come from the side of my other Greek militia cav to do a bit more. But at this stage I see his companion cav, more of his companion cav coming in. Of course, those Cretians actually routed this unit of Greek cav, although that might have something to do with the fact that these companions were so close. So I just pull out my Greek, militia cav. I'm just going to skirmish more. This is just keeping these Cretians out of the fight, so that's useful as well. So as I was explaining before, I was just going to use the armoured hoplites to keep out in cav basically, and to just sort of shield my archers while my Spartans just destroy the enemy front line. They're going to be so much better than any of these dual pikes, so it's fine. So over here he's chasing my cav around a bit, and my micro does get a wee bit sluggish, so I do end up leaving units sitting around probably longer than I should have. So anyway, over here there's a wee bit of a micro sluggishness, and I don't turn around my armoured hoplites very quickly, and for some reason my archers ran to them. But I do manage to pull this unit off here and turn it around in time, and now I'm going to be able to defeat a lot of these companion cavalry. And with Doc Holiday's, with Doc's, we hit cataphracts coming in Doc's support, they pretty much mash her out and he loses his cav. So over here, I catch my opponent in a bit of a micro lapse though, and I managed to get into his little pikemen before they even get their pikes down. So that's good. So Doc does make a wee bit of a mistake here. He shouldn't be running through my own pikes, because he's going to run through my own, that'll actually hit him straight to his allies, so that did do a bit of damage, as you can see, to his cataphract, so that was a bit of a micro error on his part. But he'll be keeping the cav out of this fight. And I'm going to use my armour hoplites to flank round, but I'm going to be careful about this because I could get shot up in their flank by these Cretians pretty bad. As you can see, for some reason these particular Spartans were getting beaten. I have no idea why. It was completely bizarre, because everywhere else my Spartans absolutely munched through the line like they should do. So that was a bit of a weird, I don't know what that was. To be honest, and even when it's getting ganged up on like this, it still managed to do a lot of damage, although I didn't do it very well, because not a lot of these units are actually hitting in. So over here I'm using my own armoured hoplites to keep all these cavalry units away. As you can see, Doc's other forces consist of just, I think it's 6 units of heavy spearmen and 5 archers there. I just killed one of the Macedonian generals and one of his cataphracts, but he mostly just forgets about them and uses his remaining units to assist, his remaining cataphracts to assist me. As you can see, I've used my Spartans pretty well, and I've punched through those lines. I've got rid of this cav over here. And my archers are still going strong. As you can see, some of my cav units and regroup units I have forgotten about, so a few micro errors are showing in my battle plan there, I do confess that much. But everywhere else my Spartans are dominating, except for over here where the weirdest thing happened. I don't know why they got so utterly creamed by these royal pikemen. They shouldn't have, but for some reason they did. Very strange. They were in no different position than any of the others, so I don't know what that was. It must be a bit of a glitch or something, some one of those weird annoying things. Now anyway, the other players coming in, and what they should have done is they should have really ganged up on me, because at this stage Doc hadn't even moved any of these units, so I think he was having a bit of a micro off as well. So I really could have been in a lot of trouble against this many cav units. But anyway, I'm not too concerned at this stage though. My Spartans are just going to cream these guys. Doc, as you can see, Doc is making a few mistakes this time round. But always remember with Doc is he's really not very, he's not played Rome Total War that much in comparison to me, so it's definitely quite understandable that he would make micro errors, whereas I would. It's not quite as much as I would. As you see over here, I'm making a pretty bad move. This guy's put him into a very deep formation, so my armoured hoplites getting creamed by this because they just can't push into that much. But it doesn't really matter anyway because I've got easily dominating over the side of the field. As long as you use your Spartans well, you should be fine. As long as you keep those cav out, Spartans will destroy any other phalanx unit in this game, even Sacred Band. Sacred Band will certainly make it difficult for them, and Sacred Band can beat Spartans, but Spartans are still better. So, you want to basically, as long as with the Greek city-states you can keep any cav away, cav will always be your main difficulty, but if you can do that, then you shouldn't have any trouble because those Spartans are just absolutely incredibly strong. So as long as you can keep the cav out, you'll be fine. But of course the cav options for the Greek city-states are very poor, and dealing with enemy cav is not very easy, basically because it's just so, it doesn't mean it's impossible, and people will say Greek cav is crap, and it's not great by any stretch, but it doesn't mean it's crap. If you use it, it's just not easy to, it's not difficult to use, it's just people use it wrong, I guess. I rather enjoy using the Greek city-states. It's a challenging faction to use, but I like them. And it's going to be really fun. And on that note, I actually just pre-ordered Rome 2 yesterday. I did the pre-order way because I finally saw that they finalised the specifications for it, and seeing this finalisation of it, I was comfortable that I'd be able to play it on my PC, so I finally went ahead and bought it, and I wanted to get it pre-ordered if possible so I could get that Greek cultures pack that allowed Athens, Sparta and Epirus to the game, which I'm very much looking forward to. So that's roughly just under a month away, I guess, just under a month until Rome is ready, so I'll have that installed and we'll have Rome 2 installed, so I'm really looking forward to that one. And on the same note, it's a little bit sad though because it'll probably spell the end of this Rome Total War, which has been so good. So I've got about a month to try and get my 200 videos for this Rome, for the first Rome. So I'll be focusing a little bit more on Rome at this stage, but after that it'll probably be put on the shelf for a while. Not that I actually use a Steam version, but it's just a saying. It'll just be sort of put away for a while. I'll probably visit it again in the distant future, but Rome 2 is going to be pretty dominant. So anyway, enough of that. There's the statistics. I have 1,568 kills and Doc had over 1,000 too. We both got pretty good kills. As you can see, Doc really lost anyone. He lost probably 200, slightly less than 200, so very few losses. The losses I took were probably about 400 and something. The other guys, they only got about 400 kills each. They didn't do that great. They probably didn't work together as well as they could have, and they were a bit they squandered their cav. But as you can see, my Spartans got tons of kills, except that unit that for some reason I think it was glitching or something, because something was going wrong there, because it shouldn't have any trouble beating the armoured hoplite, and it was in formation, so I have no idea what's going on there. But other than that, Spartans will cream Royal Pikemen every time, unless the Royal Pikemen are in very deep formations, and I mean very, very deep, and of course that makes them very easily outflanked and so on. So it's pretty, Spartans should have no trouble defeating them there. But of course, with Macedon having better cav and Hammer and Ambles and stuff, it evens the field quite well there. My armoured hoplites, some of these guys got quite a few kills as well. They did take more casualties though, but you got to remember they had no upgrades, so they were pretty susceptible to missile fire when they went out of formation as well. So they were designed to keep the cav out, and they did do that, and that was exactly what I wanted. As you see, my archers quite a lot of kills as well, and my Greek cavalry 48, 20, 61, and 32 for my two militia cav there. 67, 32. So and that was 20 and 68, not the 48, it was one of the Spartans there. But as you can see, that's quite a lot of kills. I know it was a lot of those archers, but they can play a very good distractionary role, and you can be quite effective with them, so don't discount them just because they're not as good as other cav. So anyway, I'm sure if we looked at Doc's stats, it would just be his cataphracts that had the kills, and most of his other army didn't really see any action at all. So anyway, hope you guys did enjoy that one. And as I said, I'll be focusing on Rome at the moment. I know some of you guys prefer me to do Medieval 2, and I've definitely got a lot of Medieval 2 stuff to do, and I am making videos for them as I've been doing it of late. I am making videos for Medieval 2, but because I said I wanted to get to 200 videos before Rome 2, I've got to sort of work on Rome at the moment, so this will be about 100 it's in the 180s at this stage, so it shouldn't take me too much longer. And if I have, like, say, a week, if I can get it done like maybe a week before Rome 2 comes out, and then I'll do Medieval 2 for that week, and then we'll work on Rome 2 when it arrives. So that's basically what I'm going to aim to do in the future, so I hope you guys are pleased with that, and I hope you've enjoyed this battle, and I thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you soon next time.